The Independent Investor Channel for another Friday live stream here. It's amazing how quick the weeks go in between live streams. It's amazing how quick the live stream itself goes. This is the fastest 60 minutes on YouTube. It is the greatest show on turf. No doubt about that. We try to strike deep and continue to keep the discussion hot on this topic for individual investors. Maybe you're a beginning investor, maybe you're a seasoned investor and you know it all and you don't want to hear it all from somebody like myself. Maybe you think you know it all and would consider me a know it all, which I do know a lot. I find that a lot of the problem out there in the investing landscape is that a lot of people don't know anything. And what they think they know is probably wrong. And they'll try different things and fail at it, and then they'll just throw in the towel and just give up. And I think that's too bad. I really do. I think a good mix of a good piece of employment, along with a good disciplined plan to where you can make sense of this investing gig for you. I think the better off you'll be. Now, what does that mean for coming onto YouTube and relating with a fellow like me? Okay. Let me just say this up front. I don't come onto YouTube and contend or insist that I have all the answers. Okay. I'm a searcher for those very answers for me. I will look to find those fundamentals for you. That's one of the things that makes me very, very unique. I am one of those guys that doesn't mind helping, and I don't mind teaching, and I'm pretty good at it. Okay. But if you expect perfection from me, my friends, you need to really open your eyes to the fact that there are a lot of things in life trying to chip away at you. And it is not easy. It is hard. Um, Contrary to consensus on YouTube to come on and jump up and down and scream and yell at you and just, tell you what the three stocks to buy for the week are. It's much more difficult and it's much more individual. That's the cool thing about it. I wish a lot more people would actually talk along those lines, because if you can come on and you can say, all right, I can see this guy's obviously passionate. What is it? What is the relatability that I can actually find in my own life? I don't know anything about investing. I'm a little down. I seemingly look around and I see all these other people who seem to have everything that I don't have. You're not alone. Okay. It's really easy to get caught up in that in the United States of America, especially. But I will tell you this, and something that I've learned, and I'm a little bit older. I know most of my demographic is people who are a little more, my age, a lot less, the young folks, because they already know it all and they don't need to hear some old fogey like me talk. But one thing I have noticed is that if you're judging somebody's success based on what you see or what you perceive, you are probably perceiving the wrong thing. Okay, so why do it? You'd be so much happier if you would just focus internally, because you are the one who actually knows exactly what your deficiencies are, and even maybe what your potential is, both known and unknowns. Know what you think you want to do in this life, whatever it is: career, relationships, financial wealth, and health and well-being, things like that. So you guys have to kind of understand this is an individual gig. I don't want people to come to my channel. I've been doing this on YouTube a long, long time, and I've earned one of the greatest aspects that I could ever have as a content creator, and that is the freedom to create what I want when I want. And I take that very, very seriously. If the channel ends up staying at those levels for the rest of my life, no problem. I will probably be doing this project indefinitely. It's part of who I am. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy the camaraderie. I see that the gallery's filling up just like it does every Friday, and I'm super glad. I'm super stoked for your guys' time. I really am. I take it very, very serious. I look forward to this hour. This is what I devote my time to on a Friday evening, to come and revolve around this topic. But I want to make sure that people come in and they get hooked on the message. They get hooked on the relatability of the story. How many shares of VOO do you own? If you own the S&P 500, declare that in the thread for everybody to kind of see. Let's make a goal to get everybody up to 100 shares of the S&P 500. If you don't invest, get yourself up to your first 10 shares of VOO. I just saw Matt pop in there, so I'll make Matt happy and say, why don't you just buy the best S&P ETF, which is SPY? Go get yourself 10 shares of the SPY and start yourself up on a passive investing opportunity. Look, man, you want to go buy that puffer jacket? Go buy that puffer jacket. You go, girl. All right. A lot of people can't relate with the fact that buying equities means what? I don't understand what I own. I can't touch it. I can't feel it. It doesn't make me feel good. I don't get visual stimulation out of it. You know? Does it mean that you're investing in the S&P 500 and you can't do anything else in life? Hell no. It fortifies those wonderful activities. It's just an aspect and a slice of your life that I would presume that a lot of people are extremely deficient in. If not, it doesn't exist. Okay. So people come into the message if they're lucky enough to do so. I'm the most unknown platform out there, absolutely. But if you do find your way to the channel based on referral or based on a search through YouTube, you're lucky. Subscribe to the channel. Okay. I'll be the one YouTuber that'll come on and be like, yeah, if you talk to me in person, this is exactly how I am. Okay. This is always what I wanted to convey on the channel. It's something that I couldn't convey when I first started with my GoPro. And I was like, hello, hello, welcome. If you think creating YouTube is an easy thing, try turning on film and actually putting content online for people. That's why I gave all that stuff up a long time ago. And I just come on and rap with my audience because you guys are just awesome. And there's a lot of really good people out there, but I do contend that there's probably people out there with self-doubt. This is a topic that can humble you to your knees. Okay. You just got to learn how to handle it. And all right. I've been doing it a long time. I don't ever understand a time in my life where I was void of investing. I'm super stoked about the progress, and here we are. We sit at a really interesting impasse of the channel and the financial evolution, and whether or not I'm ever going to be able to turn out that seven figures and make that self-made millionaire status is still up in the air. I'm happy now. I'll be happy then. It's not going to make me sleep easier at night. It'll just be an acknowledgement of something that has been a lifelong goal and one that has taken a lifetime to earn, and one that I would expect anybody out there that's starting off early enough to set that as an achievable goal, financial security. If that means earning that seven figures, then so be it. But it is a realistic goal. And I would contend that with all of the things that I talked about at the top of the stream that are picking away at you, high interest rates, the difficulty in the real estate market right now, the difficulty in getting into debt with school loans, with a college education, finding a job, those types of things. Finding a job you like, find a job that pays. Good luck doing it for the rest of your life if you hate your job and hate your life. That sucks. Working a ton of hours every week, so you can't go find companionship, which is the greatest investing you'll ever make and find in your life, man. I look back on when I was poor. It was some of the happiest times of my life. Now, I was happy on some fronts, but the inability to actually, find a place to live and feed myself and actually have spending money to do certain things was non-existent. So as you evolve in your life, finding that balance is just huge. Finding that fortification of each of the different aspects that you put value on. Now, maybe people that come in and maybe they don't put a lot of value on finances. I typically blow the doors off being reserved in discussing the financial topic. I enjoy the topic too much. I think that there's way too many people who would subject their money to a financial planner and not endure the personal rigor of self education enough to know whether or not your financial planner is worth their salt or not. Okay. At the end of the day, investing in the stock market is just about as summed up as simple as I'll sum it up to you now. Buying equities, okay, and pledging those dollars to equities. Now it's the form of the equities that we talk about that can really help you define a program for yourself that can be lower risk, conservative and diversified, yes, but also low cost. Okay, very, very important to understand that element. Very cool. I got Anna in the group here who's talked about 2 VOO as well as 9 VTI shares. So two of the most premier ETFs out there, and I own them both too. And that's a really good starting place. So what you want to do is you want to just earmark it at 9 VTI. Your goal is to get one more in there, so you got a nice 10. And the same thing with your VOO shares, right? You just continue to dollar cost average those out as you can. But make no mistake about it, you're getting some value tonight in that I'm showcasing you, and thank you for sharing your holdings. It's really, really cool. But what that can actually what it means for you, you're probably up in your shares. The market's up a little bit right now year to date, and it can be sometimes tempting to just say, well, do I sell it all and live to fight another day? I think we're going to have a really interesting rally coming into the year's end. That's my premonition, but they're already talking about, since they didn't get the recession here in 2023, they're already talking about, okay, well, it must be in 2024 that we're going to get the recession, right? We need to start talking about that. And I look at this stuff and I'm like, what is supposed to come at all this discussion? Are you catering to people who need to hear that stuff? And what they ask the question on CNBC all the time. Well, what's a normal investor supposed to do with this advice? I'm I'm curious as to what we're supposed to do as well. I know what the right answer is, but I'm curious to know what you all think. What are you supposed to do with your time if the inevitable recession is 2024? You said the inevitable recession was in 2023. What were we supposed to do about that? So most of the people who have been sitting on the sideline all of 22, there's a few of them that are pissed. The Wells Fargo analyst, he's the funniest guy. Yeah, we're sitting on the sideline. We've got a target on the S&P of 4,100, and we're going to wait and inject right at 4,100. You know how many times I've ever seen that effort to be actually played out in reality? Never. It's a futile effort. And this idiot should know the difference between speculation and investing. Just invest in the market. I don't know who they're investing for. I don't know who they're investing with. I don't know who the hell is giving them an idea that somehow staying on the sideline for an entire year, waiting for this target S&P 4,100. I'll tell you what, man, if there's systemic shock to the market and the S&P goes to 4,100, it's probably going to 3,800. All right. So why don't you just dollar cost average the markets anyway? Buy it at 4,500, buy it at 4,200, buy it at 4,100, and buy it at 3,800. Who the hell is this guy on YouTube? Freaking Jesus. He's got all kinds of ideas about the stock market. Yeah, but mine are right. Right. Unless you just want to sell it all and wait for a better day, you be the judge. Okay. Just be an investor in the stock market, live to fight another day, and go do what it is that you do with your time to make you happy. All right. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Fantastic. Feeling super saucy. It was actually a good comeback week. We're coming into historically the worst month of the history of the stock market, and that is September. We should sell everything and just come back at the end of the month when September has just gone away. You got to be kidding me. You know what's funny about this, man, is investing is a whole hell of a lot easier than the pundits on CNBC who are looking to generate churn, guys. If you look below the surface, if they just came in and talked like me, it would probably gather about 34 subscribers every single day on CNBC. as opposed to rogues and millions that they actually have to sell a bunch of propaganda to make their channel have merit. I could care less. Okay. You can unsubscribe if you don't think there's value here. You can go a different way if you disagree with my idea that just buying financial markets and owning them indefinitely is absolutely the best way, and everything less than that is uncivilized, my friend. I appreciate your time. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Jared's in the house, man. He's an original gangster to the independent investor community. He's just a patron who's trying to do right by himself um, by declaring the strategy here that he shared with the group. VO has been the investing strategy this year. It's a good one, on off 2022, 20%, right? It's a good idea. I too have been focused on emboldening my position in the S&P 500. I will tell you guys right now, and we'll play a little game on the Independent Investor channel. All right, since we're looking to empower one investor at a time, and we've had a few folks that have come in that have actually declared their positions. Kind of fun, actually, to do that, kind of see where folks are and starting. Now, the two VOO position there from Anna, she's shared with the group here. That's about a $400 ETF, so that's about an $800 position. You understand the power of that position, averaging about a little over 10%, 11, 12 certain years per year over each of those $400 blocks that she's purchased, right? And we'll look to add to those over time, but really cool to kind of solicit that. And the reason why I do that is to try to get some connection with you guys. I don't expect you to come on and relate to me. A lot of people would come on and suggest that, I don't know, I'm a know-it-all, I'm pompous, or I'm an asshole. I don't know. I'm really not. That's the funny thing. But I'm at 90. So to get up to 100 shares of VOO would be around a $40,000 bill. I mean, that's a lot. And I challenge a lot of people out there, if you had the 10 shares, you're looking at about 4,000, double that to 20, about 25 shares would get you to about that $25,000 level in the S&P 500. So the VOO can kind of help you break down certain thresholds. And you say, well, what's that all about? Why don't I just buy JEPI? Why don't I just buy a nice dividend ETF? Look, stay with me, guys. This is not a channel where I tell you what to do and you do. It's the opposite of that. I provide you an insight to what I do, okay? And I don't spend a lot of time mulling over the garbage in the stock market. What we're talking about here with SPY, with VOO, with VTI, with IVV, with SCHD, VYM, VIG, those ETFs are cream of the crop. So when you start arguing with me about, hey, I want to go over here and do this, you could probably find a really nice ETF that gets you comparable performance, if not better performance than VYM. But now you're thinking for yourself, fantastic. We're making an impact. All right. But 90.59 is the current position in VOO. That's about 37,000. So we want to get up to that 100. So that'll be the kind of the threshold is 10, 25, and 100. So I'm still under the 100 threshold and trying to achieve that 100 threshold. Now that 100 for me, I will share, because this is kind of another piece of insight outside of the relatability to the channel. The position that I hold is those are all tax protected shares in the Roth IRA. So a doubly valuable position in the S&P 500, the VOO. Now the VIG 230, I would consider the baller share ownership in there to be 250 shares of VIG. That'll put me around what, 45,000 or so dollars in the position. That's pretty awesome. And so we're a little bit under that. So I'm going to kind of declare to you guys, as we dollar cost average those positions over time. They are to be bought and owned, right? So Anna, those positions that you own, just keep them and hold them as an asset. If you have a little bit of surplus capital, start to build those up. Make yourself a goal to get to 5 VOO and 10 VTI, right? Do what you can when you can, and live to fight another day. It's really kind of a simple concept, to be honest with you. And furthermore, allow yourself to be proud of the program that you've put in place for yourself. It's very important for you to be proud of the fact that you own that, okay? And not get discouraged when those assets decrease in value because you wanted to really buy that puffer jacket, and now you're really mad at Ryan for, maybe suggesting, I don't know, that investing is a good idea. And, you heard of somebody that won $9 trillion playing the lottery. And by God, I could have won that, Ryan, had I not invested in an equity, right? I could have won that money, Ryan. It's all your fault that I'm not a quintrillionaire, Ryan. You bastard. Unsubscribe. you know it's all my fault. But the other one that I want to share with you guys, because I wanted to share a dividend ETF, is the SCHD, which I do own 100 shares. So I'm actually neutral. What I would consider to be a pretty strong position in SCHD. That's about a 7,800, almost a $7,500 position in SCHD, which is another good dividend provider. VYM would be on par with that. The VIG is more of a dividend appreciation fund. So along the same line, but a little bit different makeup of the stocks that they're looking to go after, dividend growers as opposed to established dividend players. Okay. So a little bit different. I look at the performance year over year. I'm super stoked with both of them. They're really good assets. And quite frankly, I would rather spend my minutes revolving around those incredible assets that are out there. Dude, investing is awesome. I mean, dude, puffer coats are awesome too, but freak. I mean, owning VOO, I mean, Anna, tell me, do you feel good owning that? Or is it just like, hey, I don't know, I'm scared, Ryan. I don't 2024, man. You said they're gonna have a recession in your title, I don't know, that puffer coat is looking awful tempting right now, but doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good to be saving for your financial future? You know, I I've sold stock before, and I've always kind of suffered from a guilt trip from doing so, because why? I do it in the short term, and then I'm like, now I have a fat load of cash, and what's happening to cash every single year? It's losing value enormously, right? I think it's a really, really good place to park some capital. And if you park it in financial markets and you've got time on your side, you've really set yourself up to benefit from the effects of compounding growth over time. And that's going to be the least apparent when you start investing. And it's going to fortify over time. I just dipped back below 500,000 for the 12th time. I've made the 500,000 mark. I think one of these times I'm just going to blow through it and I'm never going to see it again. But I'm at 498 right now. I was as high as 520 before this kind of hiccup started through August. August has been kind of a tranche, gave back 5%. No big deal. Some of the speculative names have kind of trimmed a little bit there, but sitting around the 500,000 mark, just kind of bobbing around, you know what I mean? And I look at it sometimes and I think about all the puffer coats that I could buy with that 500,000, and I think, how awesome would it be to buy, 5,000 puffer coats with that money? That would be incredible, man. I could buy one of every sports team out there. I could probably take my money and almost buy every Air Jordan ever made. You guys ever get crazy about like looking around and like people aren't cool unless they've got Air Jordans? Look, I was a big Michael Jordan fan. I get it. He actually influenced my life to like kick that ass and aspire to be great in a certain thing. But do I have to wear Air Jordans? I look around and I'm like, you probably never watched Michael Jordan, like the new generation. That's all they know. He's kind of a sneaker guy, and I think he played basketball back with Wilt Chamberlain. No, he was a stud. He was really good. He is the goat for sure. But yeah, I feel motivated not to buy Air Jordans just to kind of fight the system out there. Go to the mall, count how many Air Jordans are walking around. It's pretty amazing, I guess. You gotta think like everybody else, you know. Me, I fight the power. It's just an opportunity to not think like everybody else. You know what I mean? But I give you some relatable characteristics. I don't declare the portfolios very often anymore. Um, I do have to take the M1 finance portfolios. Those are no longer available through the channel. I can share those every now and then on a case by case basis, one on one. I don't want any compensation anymore from them. They switched over to Rakuten, and I don't want to. I don't want to deal with that anymore. Sharing portfolios and things like that. I love the way that the portfolios are established. I still have the M1 sector portfolio, and it's doing great. It's made me a ton of money. The dividend portfolio with 97 holdings is about $8,500 of just capital appreciation with a $2,500 bill attached to it. It's a couple of years old. It pays me dividends every year, every day, excuse me, not every year, every day. I love it. It renders about a 3.43 dividend yield off of the portfolio. I love it. And then finally, the aggressive growth portfolio with NVIDIA, Tesla, Adobe, Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, the FANG names, Uber, Lululemon, um, and Airbnb. That's the aggressive growth. So if you guys want those portfolios, you can hit me up. You got to take a little bit of an effort, and I'll send those to you. It doesn't mean that you have to invest in them, but you can have them for reference. I don't care to make money off of that. I make money in other capacities, and I don't really care to do affiliate marketing anymore on the channel. It's kind of stupid and kind of futile and contrary to popular belief. It's just a fantastic way to get yourself rich. I'm not a leech. I'm not a parasite. I don't need your money. You want to use my portfolio or have some insights in it, at least get it and you can take a look at it. All right. I'm willing to share those, but I'm going to take them off of the description of the channel going forward. It's not going to be offered anymore. So for you guys that did get a hold of that stuff, fantastic. I mean, that's just benefit that can help your bottom line. And I can guarantee there's people with multiple dollars in the community that have actually grown those dollars over the course of being a patron of the Independent Investor Channel community and would not have grown those dollars had they not had the motivation, right? The insight, the foresight, the wherewithal to actually put a little program in place. That's just a presumption on my part, just a presumption. I don't need anything. I don't even need a thank you. Okay. But I know they're out there. I know they're out there. And I know we're getting to people and proving to people that you can make money and that the lottery is not the only way that regular people can break out a little bit and provide themselves some financial security. And I don't know, maybe dare I say hope, because the way things are going right now, and you tune in to media, I don't watch the news anymore, guys. I don't watch it. It's a waste of time. The only TV channel I watch, and quite frankly, I watch it 10 minutes a day during my free preview because I stream now. I don't have direct TV. I used to watch it a lot more. I watch it 10 minutes a day, and it is the only channel that I can stomach for 10 minutes and be inundated with who comes on there I may disagree or agree with, but certainly don't watch the news. When you watch the news, you would think that the world's going to hell. I was like, Jesus Christ, I felt good before watching that. I don't feel so good anymore. God dang it. I talk to my parents all the time and they're like, yeah, Ryan, you heard about this, and this, and this, and this, and you should be worried. I'm like, well, hell, I wasn't worried before you just told me. Where the hell did you hear that? At Fox News. Why don't you shut that off? I don't know. Go stare at a plant. Go do some gardening. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Go hose off the deck. Go do something productive. That's not productive. I don't know. Maybe they think it's productive. Maybe they think it's education. I don't know. I think it's inundation. There's a big difference. Hell, it could be education for all I know. I just think it's a big freaking waste of time. I don't know. Go start a YouTube channel. Press play on that GoPro. See how fun it is. Um, So that's the relatability. Once you get that relatability, you can kind of buy into this a little bit. Some in the group actually have some of that stuff. Very cool. I'm glad you do. Then you want to adjust over time. Okay. So relate with the message and then adjust over time where you can kind of look at that. I looked at it and I was like, okay, get to 10, get to 5, right? Add one every 6 months, right? Everybody's working on different budgets, and that's okay. Okay. I don't come from money. All right. I come from the dirt. Anybody else from the dirt? Raise your hand. It's okay. Come from the dirt. I come from the dirt. Actually, it was more mud. I come from the mud. Raise your hand if you come from the mud. A lot of people out there are like, yeah, I don't know, man. I was rolling around in gold and silver growing up, Ryan. I tell you what, I had all the advantages. Good, good, good for you. That's fantastic. I didn't. I had to earn it all. So every little bit, when I look at this $500,000 and when I look at the prospects of what this could potentially mean for the positions that I'm sitting on, will I make it? I don't know. I'll be happier than a pig in shit if it happens. I'll appreciate. That's the difference, right? When you set out on this journey, when I set out on it 30 years ago, right? There was no promise of guarantee. There was no a clear path to riches. There has been no getting lucky for me. All of this generating of churn and building portfolio to trip and fall and bust my teeth out 1,000 times, that's all came from trial and error. You think I just ordered the how to start a YouTube channel and they sent me a how to start a YouTube channel book and I read it starting with chapter 1 and here I am, right? Hey, how you guys doing? No, 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 very heartfelt. This feels right. I love doing this. And then that's the difference between me as I don't I'm trying to prove that you can actually do this for fun and actually not do it and subject yourself to the whims of YouTube. To hell with them. I want to do the project in spite of YouTube. It's funny. And now I'm making more money than I ever made on YouTube. It's funny. So now I get to keep creative control. I get to share with you guys some of the stories that we share on the channel. I'm adjusting my program the same that I'm charging with you guys to continually kind of look and adjust, fortify, which is the next thing you want to do is kind of always look for areas of improvement, areas where you can add to, fortify your program. Once you have an idea, you've convinced yourself why you do what you do, right? Go ahead and fortify that. And then finally, get to a place where you're thriving. I've been there for a long, long time. Ryan, you suck. On highly on, you suck and suck and suck, suck, suck. I don't suck. I'm thriving. Kiss my ass. Figure sooner or later you'll figure it out. You arrogant prick. Yeah, whatever. I'm going places. I'll teach you how to do it. I don't recall sending you a bill to plug into the independent investor channel. I thank you, YouTube, for providing this awesome forum. StreamYard for providing me the opportunity to come and talk to you kind folks. Pretty badass. I think it's great. I get to meet people all over the world. I don't know who's going to come into the live stream from Friday to Friday. I have no idea. I'm waiting for somebody to come into the live stream and be like, dude, this guy's awesome. Let's just give him his own podcast. Let's just hire him for $250,000 a year. They should. There's a ton of morons out there that make a ton of money providing a whole hell of a lot less value than I do, free of charge on YouTube. There's a lot of patrons of the community that would agree with me. I don't screw around. I don't patronize. I don't BS. Patronize, talk down to people because I actually think you do have value where you may not identify that you have that value. I'm telling you, you do. You do. Pull the plug on the TV. And then you'll be like, hey, God dang, Ryan, that's shit. I turned into Ryan. He actually says I have value, which you do. That's the truth of the matter. Society would have you believe that you just need to fall in line like a Hindu cow, right? And just follow along with the rest of the lemmings, right? Pay your taxes and die. No, no. Suck the marrow out of life. I just watched Dead Poet Society this week. So I suck the marrow from life. You understand? Let's get to some of these comments in here, man. Very cool. Victor was first in the group here, man. VIP to the channel for sure. It's great to see you, Victor, man. And Jared's in the house, man. Mighty cool stuff. Mr. Tom is in the house. He says, Mr. Ryan, do you sell puts? I have sold puts. Yes. Or do you wheel strategy or any other type of options? Collect premium. I've been off that for a while, Tom. Thank you for the question. I have been off on aggressive investing. I haven't done a lot of swing trading or options to boot. I was really getting really over levered in options for a while. Bought a lot of leaps on some of the speculative positions, and it's looking like those are not going to materialize over time, but it's certainly one of those things that I will reintroduce with cash secured puts and some covered calls on positions that I own. I need to do a little bit of transitioning in the portfolio to make that a reality for me. I'm trying to make a move here, Tom, right? Just to give you some insight. Over the last couple of years, my press in the stock market has been in the microcap market. Oh God, Ryan, everybody loses at the microcap market. No problem. When I'm done losing, I will come back to the value piece and we'll be fine. I just so happen to believe that I am looking at, and I believe instead of playing the lottery, I think a lot of people should actually just pay attention to opportunities that are out there. And I would venture to presume that there is some money in the microcap space. All right. Parcel Pal reported this week, blew out the number, blew it out. Stock's up 70%, something like that in the last 4 days. I can't even, I funded the account to try to buy the shares and I couldn't. I feel bad. I own 100,000 shares of the company, but I was going to quadruple that. I was going to put another 400 in there to get me up to a cool 500,000. And the brokers are playing funny games now in that they don't want to empower people like myself who actually like pay attention and like have bettered my odds. Like, in other words, I think that playing the OTC market is better than playing the lottery. I say that tongue in cheek. I've made money, and I do make money, and I play it different than a lot of people. I invest, I monitor it, but I really appreciate the question. I'm a little off this right now, and I do want to get back into it later on in life to generate some of that income, especially in the Roth IRA, man, where I can draw off some of that income on some of the larger positions that I have, and I would do it in the value positions that I have. I no more speculative anything. That's just silly. I'm not going to do that anymore. But I appreciate the question, Tom. Thanks for coming in, brother. Really appreciate you, man. And Jamie's in the house, man. My hurricane survivor. Appreciate that, brother. I couldn't respond to you. I was on the elliptical, Jamie. So thanks for the report. I hope everything is okay. It was good to see you, my friend. Smoking two hards in the group, man. Jesus, man. You don't have to call me sir, man. Just call me Ryan. It's all good. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming in, man. Very cool. Thanks for spending a few moments to drop a comment in the group. It means a lot to me, man. Very cool. Calvin's in the house. Calvin's another brother from another mother, man. It's good to see you. Good to see, man. Picked up a lot of cool people over the years. Kind of cool. Chances are I may not meet a lot of you guys, but I do want to meet some of you guys someday. I think that'd be awesome. And Kelvin's been with me a long time, and I appreciate the support over the years, brother. And shaded lights in the house. Eric, great to see you, my friend. Very cool stuff, man. He's also my brother from another mother. Reptile Daniel, good evening, fellow investors. Fantastic. Reptile Daniel, wow, fantastic. Like minded people, thanks in advance. ARDX. I have to do a little research, man. I don't know. My portfolio is pretty fortified right now, so I don't comb over it enough to just report out. And as far as seeking out new opportunities, I think I'm a little flush in that category. So, like one of my friends said, I need some of these theses to kind of play out a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to make a liar out of me, which it could very well do. A lot of people are sitting back and being like, "Hey, he's going to get clobbered." All right, I'll get clobbered for your entertainment. It's all good. I will be fine with all the clobbering I've incurred over the last 3 years, man, with no avail whatsoever. It's amazing we're in the position that we are in, and we'll calmly, continually trudge on for hopes of better days. And I think they're coming. I really do. I think they're coming. These companies cannot be ignored again. Not only did the letter from the CEO catch my attention from Mullen Automotive, but they've actually taken it one further in that they are accusing certain brokerage houses, the major brokerage houses, of foul play in driving down their stock. And brings me to a point anymore, and this is kind of why I don't do stock picking anymore per se. And it'll be something that I do later on in life when I don't have to do it as a luxury and not a necessity. Stock picking as a necessity is dangerous. Trying to generate income on, I'd rather see me. Therefore, I would rather see you just invest passively in the markets, and then we can talk about cool stuff like puffer jackets and cool stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just invest passively because I can come on and make it sexy, right? But it's not. It's boring, right? Buying the VOO is easy. The cool thing inherently about buying VOO SPY, sorry, Matt, is the ability to be an investor and not be a lemming, to put every cent and every dollar into a tax protected account that is owned by you. If nothing else, man, start a self-directed account just for the sheer um, meaning behind it. Honestly, you can buy a Roth IRA and spend annual fees, dividend reinvestment fees, and dollar cost average fees, and fees and fees and fees for the greater good of Edward Jones. Why? Why do that? I don't pay a dime to my broker. Zero. Nothing. Nothing. They get nothing from me. I'm probably one out of thousands and thousands and thousands of self-directed investors. That's fine. I use them. I abuse them. And if they want to mess with me, I'll go down the road to another one. It's fine. Fine. Think for yourself, man. It's your program. It's your money. Tell them how it's going to be. Don't let them tell you how it's going to be. Tell them how it's going to be, and with the intent of serving you, not Edward Jones, not Merrill, not TD Ameritrade, not Fidelity. They've got really cool sounding names. Charles Schwab. I'm with Charles Schwab. It's an account. It's okay, man. It's all good. I have 20 of them. I treat them all the same. Mess with me, I'll shut it down. Mhm. Look at your money in the way that I expect you to look at your money. It's yours. It's not anybody else's. Just because it's out of sight, for a lot of people, it's out of mind. It should be out of sight for sure, but definitely not out of mind. And certainly not out of sight and mind enough to where you just like feel bad about soliciting your financial planner or your broker or calling your bank and asking them about these fees on your statement. What? You're kidding me. Don't let them mess with you. Don't let them mess with you, man. The ultimate goal on this channel, man, is to get 249,999 of savings blocks in as many accounts as you can. Why? Because of the FDIC insurance over those accounts. As much idle cash as you can possibly have on standby, as much alternative investments, gold and silver set aside, enough foreign currency, euro, put aside for yourself, right? Fluctuation of different currencies, right? You ever thought about own another currency? I do. I own euro. hmm It doesn't show up in that figure. I was just kidding about being below 500,000. I was just kidding. Yeah, your boy Ryan's got your back, man. I don't mess around. This is my life. Okay. You guys will find, man, if you put in half the passion that I put in, you'll generate capital, you'll generate financial success that you never knew you could generate. You just got to put some effort toward it. And again, some people come out, you know it all. And I'll be like, dude, you don't know shit. Right. So, like, what gives? I, of course, look like a know it all because you don't know anything. Like, okay. Look, I spend time paying attention to this stuff enough to where I can teach it, right? I don't know. To each his own, man. You want to call me names? I'm too busy to call you names. So it doesn't happen. You guys getting paid? You're paid every day, man. Every day. It's a good thing, man. D Tanks in the house, man. Very cool. It's great to see you, man. Missed the faster 120. Yeah, we'll pull it out one of these days. Um, if I end up actually pulling this magic act off and actually proving people that I can manufacture a lottery win enough to where I can buy a lifetime supply of puffer jackets, the channel's going to explode, and you guys will be the beneficiaries for it, man. D Tanks will come on and be like, God dang, Ryan, I got people like Jesus asking me about your channel. What the hell? I'll be like, damn, D, just go start your own channel. It's all good. You'll have 50,000 subscribers before you know it, man. I'll be sitting at like 2 million subscribers. And they'll be like, God dang, this guy, he's the real stock god. God, you thought GoPro was good? Go check this guy out. He actually creates results, man. It's incredible. Yeah, no, I know I create results, man. It seemingly I've got all the secrets and nobody knows it anything about it. Got James in the house, man. Appreciate the Twitter support this week, brother. Pay attention. I've been off the Twitter a little bit. There's nothing I want to do more, man, than to pull out Hank and start like rattling that guy's cage, man. There's no sense of urgency whatsoever I sense on our project. That's for sure. If you go on to the last news release, it's that Hyliion reported earnings on August 8th. All right, maybe they just took the month off. Not sure. I hope they're having a good time this Labor Day weekend. That's for sure. I don't know. It seems like they're just kind of taking their time. And why wouldn't they? I mean, Thomas makes what, $1 million salary every single year? Why not just slow play the thing? Who really cares if the project even makes something of itself, man? It's all good. It'll be my last hurrah. It's all right. I can make millions without those risks anyway. Be honest with you. I can just legitimately invest myself to seven figures. I don't need to accelerate it like that. That's for sure. One of the worst spots I've seen myself in right now, and progress at the company's been good, but man, I think they can do more. It's um, pretty unfortunate to watch this thing. That's for sure. We're gonna pump VOO up. We're gonna pump VOO. It's Randy Macho Man Sandwich, right? Just watch that show. It's pretty funny. We're gonna pump you up, right? Yeah. What does he say? That's so good. Can't do a very good Randy Macho Man Savage. All right. Hear me now, believe me later. Very cool. Some cool. Get some My Dividend Dreams in the house, man. It's all good, man. You can come in as you want. It's an open door policy. We had a pretty good attendance tonight. Very cool stuff. Got a few minutes left in the live stream. Very cool. I like to hear stuff like this. Mithridates says portfolio hit an all-time high today. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. That's one of those things that I kind of talk about in the Thrive category. Can success be found in the stock market? I don't know. I can tell you yes. I'd rather show you Mithridates comment. That's what hits home for me, man. That kind of stuff. It's glad to know, man, that you were able to find what you needed to empower yourself to those types of acknowledgments. Now, they don't happen every day, but when they do happen, I like to hear that stuff. I really do. It's really cool. She says, I never sell. What summed up in 3 words. Yeah. One of the best pieces of financial application you can have. Never sell. Own. Eventually that puffer jacket's going to go bad, right? VOO, it gets better with time. Your investments, As crazy as it might be in the short term to look at that stuff and be like, this makes no sense to me. I have no idea why I'm doing this. I could go buy a car. Or God dang, I just lost a car. Or by God, I watch this go down every day. Or by God, I just don't understand. I watch Ryan for 60 minutes and I just don't feel as inspired as I used to. What the hell am I doing this for? It'll become very apparent in 10 or 15 or 25 years, trust me. And the way to kind of bring this thing home for you guys is we'll all be there. Okay. Do you want to look back over your life and say, Jesus, I was wishy washy and I thought about puffer coats way, way too often, right? Don't set yourself up for regret. Own it. Let the dust settle where they will. Spend your life as an investor. Then look back at it and say, you know what? I could have probably done it without investing, which I'd be hard pressed to suggest that that's even a possibility. But give yourself that look. hmm If you're just completely continually chopping yourself over and over again and not allowing that money to grow and always justifying another need for it, or always finding, last year they had a 107-inch TV and this year they've got a 112-inch TV, and you got to do it because your buddy did it. And so you got to do it. The buddy did it, Ryan, and he has a puffer coat, and I don't, and I like the Detroit Red Wings too, and I must not like him as much as him, right? It's so 112 and the puffer coat. Okay, VOO can wait because I think the market's really high, and we're going into a recession anyway, Ryan. It's okay. Yes, yes. hmm Oh, the deliberations we go through. And Natalie's been with the group for a long, long time. And Miss Natalie, you are a featured guest in the independent investor channel community. You know what's cool too about this community is we can make it as big as we want. and, and it's cool because I try to fortify the group when we have these little successes. It's a little success over there, a little bit. There's Natalie over here. We grow the success. We grow it, and it's just that much more powerful when you grow it as a group. It's kind of cool, you know say, okay, then the sell to the channel, the elevator pitch is really simple. You got to kind of listen to this guy. Okay. He'll throw out a couple cuss words. So if you're like really hardcore, like, I mean, I'm a Christian too, but I have a sailor's mouth and I do apologize for that. But look, come listen to this guy. If you don't like him, it's fine. But he talks about like barbecue a lot and this and that. But as far as investing goes, he kind of makes it like a real life type of a thing, a real life exercise. You can relate to him. You know, you can relate to what he does and why he does it and why he doesn't do a lot of things out there. And I don't know, maybe you can feel a little bit motivated too. You know, watch it. He'll send you a bill for $49.99 for the fastest 60 minutes on YouTube. You'll get the bill. It's on independent letterhead. You got to pay the bill within 7 days. Otherwise, I'll send you to collections. I'm just kidding. It's free of charge. It's great to see you, Natalie. Very cool. Yeah, yeah. She says, thanks. No need to thank, man. The thank you is inherently baked into the job. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's a mission. Good to hear I have the night off because of a holiday weekend, but since I switched to seconds, haven't been able to watch it here. It's great to see you, brother. Very cool stuff. DCA's in the house. DCA, brother. Yeah, just adding a little bit to financial markets over time. Very cool stuff. Jerry's in the house, man. It's great to see you, my brother. Fantastic, man. Thanks for spending a few moments to come on. And he shares VTI in the taxable as well as myself. I have the same, Jared. Thank you. SWPPX in the in the Roth, and BlackRock S&P 500 index in the 401k. You can kind of sleep easy with that type of application, right? And I would go so far as to say, and I don't know what deliberation you went through to build up those positions. I don't know if it was just something that you were taught, friends, family, father influence, friend influence, maybe by your own admission to needing to do something. But how do you feel now? Do you feel like you made the right decision? If you could look back over your decision to invest, would you consider it to be a successful endeavor or not a successful endeavor? Were there times when it kind of like tested you? Were there times when you looked at it and you wanted to whoop jump for joy and you didn't want the puffer coat so much, right? These life deliberations, man, I just kind of put forward right out there in front of the group and just kind of think about where you've been, where you are now, and what you're going to be forced to have to reflect upon later on in life. And that's the cool thing about my message is I kind of take you on a roller coaster in 60 minutes and maybe charge you with thinking about things that maybe you wouldn't think about watching evening news with Fox News and talk about, the indictment to Donald Trump for the sixth time, and talking about the national debt, and the housing prices being at all time highs, and it's just so terrible. It's so terrible, Ryan. Nah, man, you'd rather come on and talk about cool stuff like hope and building net worth and like empowering ourselves and being part of a community that is, somebody said, like-minded. Yeah, as long as we can achieve collectively the greatest amount of net positive benefit for each individual. Like, I want it to be powerful enough to where somebody comes in and they're like, okay, I don't know anything about this. I put into Google best YouTube finance channel and Ryan came up, which I will, and I am. And I seek out the message and I sit through it and I really try to learn and I really try to listen. What is it that it takes to make it in this game, right? If after 60 minutes you can't answer for yourself, then I have not done what it is that I've needed to do to win you over, right? Very cool. Kelvin's in the house, get 9 VOO. Very cool. You one away, brother. One away from the Big Ten. One away. D Tanks, 11 shares of the old school VFIAX. Fantastic. JL Collins. He went with the index fund. I love that fund, man. It's a good one. It's a really, really good. I feel good. She's got all kinds of like samurai quotes tonight, that's like, whoa, yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, the way of the samurai right there. I dig it. I feel good. Isn't that all we would ever need? I feel good. Yeah, yeah. How you doing? I feel good. How was your weekend? Really good. How was the Independent Investor Channel? It was awesome, as usual. Awesome stuff. We can wait till November. DCA to the cows come home, Jamie says. Totally agree. And you guys keep just jamming these freaking quotes in here. Very cool. I got 3 minutes to get through everybody. I think I can game it out here. I keep buying MA, and I'm glad I also bought V a few weeks ago. Fantastic. Yeah, it's a good one. I got a big position in Visa myself. Very cool. I got a lot littler position in MasterCard. Lot littler. Okay. Visa, I have a big position in. It's big. It's in the Roth. My wife's Roth. It's her position, not mine. It's hers. She can have it. It's okay. She can have it all. I don't even care. I don't do this for like to roll around in it like an idiot. I do it for them. I don't need it. The only cool thing about why I do this is for the sake of doing it. Mhm. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think I was good at it, especially if I didn't think other people could be good at it. Like your investing application, you could actually produce better results than me in 2023. That's the damnable reality of it. You know what? I'm all good with it. I'm all good with it. If you hear something on my channel in a combination of a half a dozen others and you find success on the stock market greater than mine, fantastic. Don't think that this is a pyramid and I sit on top and I, throw down pieces of fruit and shillings for my community, my township. That's not how it is. Mm-mm-mm. No way. No way, man. You can kick some butt just as the next person in this gig. There's no doubt about it. This stock market investing, baby, that's the dynamic beauty of it. Ryan, do you think Amazon needs Bezos to come back to run the company? Stock has done nothing since he left. I agree with you there. The answer is no, I don't. I think it was a shock to the system, but you want to look comparatively at the industry, at the big seven as well. Google's firing away. Amazon's doing really well from a business standpoint. Um, Meta's doing quite well from a business standpoint. All of the big techs are doing quite well. Um, I would just say it's a sign of the times that we're in. And those companies still haven't even got close to recovering back what they were at before their huge downturn. So I feel you on that. I really do. I don't think that's going to be necessary, nor is it going to be a possibility. I don't think that's going to be possible, but I think Amazon will be fine. Let's give it a little more time. I have 100 shares of Amazon, and I think it's one of those positions that I'm not really looking at validation 6 months from now. I'm looking to hold the position 20 years from now. And look, if it's still at $134, 137, they just came off a killer quarter. Same with Google, right? Same with Meta, killer quarters. Okay. Um, I look at those positions to be monster positions someday and continue to hold those positions. I'm totally cool with it. Ryan says I bought a little highly on this week. I don't normally do specs, but I believe in you, Ryan, and I bought a bit. So I would re-rack and say, are you convinced enough with what the company is doing that they're going to materialize into what they're doing? Right? It's still kind of a wait and see there. I've outlined some of the catalysts that I do expect to happen in my last Thailand video. Those are real. Now, whether or not they're going to make it, whether or not they're going to do those things, I think conceptually the idea of freightliners doing what it is that Hyliion is doing, boats have been doing it for years. Same idea. There's nothing novel here. I think the fact that the Hyliion is first to market, I think their low capital structure, I think their pretty good shot becoming a tier one supplier to Peterbilt is alive and well. I think certification is right around the corner. That should be a catalyst enough. And if you picked up the stock at $1.25, um, don't blame me if it goes down. It is a spec position, as you would suggest. However, I'll give you a high five if this thing actually materializes in the capacity that I think it will. And I think you're picking up shares at a pretty recessed stock price if in fact they can hold on some of these promises that they've made. Be exciting times, man. I want to see the company grow, and I feel like we're getting in on the ground floor. And if that ground floor just so happens to be pronounced for a few years, so be it. So be it. I love the story. I really do. I love the story, and I really hope that they can actually come to some sort of reality on what they've put forward here to combat the carbon emissions profile from the industry. It's very cool stuff. Your top five for the next 10. Have you looked into Enphase and Dutch Brothers? God, man, come on! I'm from Oregon. That's where Dutch Brothers started, man. The what's their great coffee? The Annihilator? That was my favorite coffee from Dutch Brothers. So I was just explaining to some colleagues at work that so Dutch Brothers started in my hometown of Roseburg, Oregon. Okay, might have started in Eugene, Roseburg, but one of the very first ones before they even went public. And it was really cool. It's something that I do when I go home to Oregon. If you guys don't know what Dutch Brothers is, Google it. It's a really cool idea. They're just really small buildings, and they've got a couple, usually college students, really, really energetic, serving the most badass coffee to people. It blows Starbucks out of the water. And you can imagine, okay, yeah, sure, Ryan, like how much different can you have in coffee? It's a big difference. Um, it's really, really good, really enjoyable. The margins are phenomenal. Dutch Brothers is a phenomenal business. Now, whether or not they'll be able to scale the business, whether or not, last time I checked Dutch Brothers, it was trading at $56. That was about what it came to IPO at. I haven't checked it since. It could be at $100, and I could be misspeaking madly. But I love the idea. Is single. I talked about single stock, and we sit here and talk about a story, and let's just use Dutch Brothers as an example. Every story has its day. And as good as that story is, every story has its day. So if you can find me a stock that's going to be great for not only 10 years, but for a lifetime, I'm all ears. Okay. And looking back over the history of the stock market, some of those companies have actually materialized and have actually presented themselves as Procter and Gamble, J&J, Home Depot, right? Some of the, Coca-Cola, for example, those would have been stocks that would have absolutely outperformed over the years. Um, it's very, very difficult to actually to find those. And even if you do, if you put five of them into a portfolio, what's the chances that all five of them are going to be those life stocks for 10 years? See, 10 years minimum is my starting point for long-term investing, right? So if I were going to give you stocks that I'm actually looking at the maximum growth potential, I would have to actually throw some of those stocks in there that have the longest runway. And two of them would be micro caps. Hyliion would be one of them. I do think in 10 years is going to be an absolute barn burner. If they can actually turn out some of the catalysts within the next couple of years, it's going to be a phenomenal, phenomenal story. Number two is Aduro Clean Technologies. Aduro Clean Technologies has better technology than Pure Cycle, and Pure Cycle gets all the love. Um, at 67 cents or something, just absolutely anemic and insignificant at this point. You want to talk about the runway for potential of an Aduro Clean Technologies? Look no further than those two for the top tier, right? And then I would throw Voxter in there as well. I mean, I'm giving you kind of my micro cap, long term. Like if I was in a stock competition and the criteria was to get the most return on value over 10 years, these would be the companies that I would buy. It wouldn't be Pfizer. It wouldn't be Disney, for crying out loud. Shit, Disney's down 47% for crying out loud. That's a blue chip gem. You know, you want to play the Nvidia game right now at 250 times earnings? No. Why do you guys think I own Nvidia? Okay, you guys come on and you're like, yeah, you're down on Nvidia. Oh, I'm a stock owner in it. I don't like Tesla. I'm a stock owner in the company. I hate the car. I hate the car. Do I own the stock? Yeah, I got a token 600 or 700 bucks I can throw in there. No big deal. I own the stock, right? But to understand my position now, putting stake in certain equities outside of those two speculative names, which are my two largest conviction speculative plays right now in the microcap section of the portfolio, then I would opt for my next three biggest plays. And they are as follows: SCHD, the ETF, VIG, and VOO. Those three would round out my top five for the next 10 years. You guys think I'm crazy as to why I'm planting these seeds now and sharing them. I am invested in these companies. I own 21,500 shares of Hyliion. I own 27,500 shares of Aduro Clean Technology. That's just where we are now. Okay. I expect that those positions over the next coming years to materialize in the tune of hundreds of X. That was a cool question. That was one of the coolest questions. Thank you for asking the question the way that you did. In phase, I don't have a comment about, but Dutch Brothers, you struck a chord with me. I really appreciate the comment. It was actually kind of fun to answer. Thank you, Zion. I appreciate your time coming on and picking my mind about my thought process. Owning Home Depot and owning the total stock market with VTI, that those are easy calls. Procter and Gamble. Over 10 years, can we expect that people are going to continue to drink Pepsi? I mean, come on, these are easy plays. Even our telecom companies, our real estate companies, our big oil companies. Certainly, I could go down and just give you the whole, the whole big tech story. Microsoft, I mean, shoot, Apple, these companies are going to do great over the next 10 years. Are those safer plays? Yeah, I already own them. Those are easy to own. Like, should you own Amazon? Yeah, yes, you should. Do you own it through VOO? I had some of my beginning investors in the group here to disclose their VOO holdings. They own Amazon too. They own Tesla. They own it in there. They just own it in an ETF, and that's okay too. You know, Very cool question, man. I appreciated help taking a stab at it. Why own Dutch Brothers when you can own Starbucks? I do own Starbucks, and I don't own Dutch Brothers. for the reasons that I just kind of disclosed to you. Starbucks will continue to enjoy the margins that are made possible through coffee, and they have a moat the size of, well, it's a global moat, because if you go overseas, you will see what I mean, not only about the lines that are like crawling all over each other to get their Starbucks coffee, but go into a McDonald's. I mean, I was standing right outside the Palace in Milan, Italy, and that was a two-story McDonald's, the likes of which I've never seen before, even in the United States. And people just crawling all over each other. They're freaking phenomenal. They want to use the free bathroom. They don't have to pay €1 to go, take a piss. It's awesome, right? Very cool. I do own Starbucks. I don't own Dutch Brothers, but Dutch Brothers has better coffee. That's just independent thought. I'm just saying. My favorite thing at Starbucks is actually Christmas Blend. So evidently I'm the only one in the world that thinks that. But Christmas Blend is their best brewed coffee. The next one I buy at Costco, and that's their dark French roast, which is my kind of like all-time favorite. Starbucks. Yeah, very cool stuff. Anyone that I talk about highly on, I tell to look deep into the company. I won't tell them to buy outright. It's probably smart. I look deep into it. Ryan and others did a lot more. It's not for everybody. It's really not. My position is on top of a lot of other positions. If it is your only position, I would just recommend keeping it in scale. $100, $500, $1,000, depending on what your scale is, right? Depending on what you can afford to lose. But I would say this basically in the trajectory of the stock and the timing of it. There's no better time to buy a stock than at all-time low when I think the prospects are that great in the company. So we'll just have to wait and see. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Very cool. I know we're over an hour. I don't care. I'm going to keep going. Very cool. I make D Tanks happy when I do a hour and 20-minute live stream. I know. I also have a number of dividend ETFs in a Roth and have been using dividends to roll back into these ETFs as well as buy additional shares in companies like Pepsi and Visa. It's a good program, man. You kind of proved to yourself through that statement, I think, Eric. It's really cool that you shared that. Um, Gee, there's a lot of money to be generated from the stock market. It's kind of sick, actually. It's kind of cool. It's kind of badass. You wonder why I have the motivation I do to come on and do this live stream every Friday, actually. The stock market's badass. Like it goes down, yeah, and it sucks, and I come on and this sucks. I don't really care one way or the other. It's just awesome. I'm just telling you. More growth. Dutch Brothers is looking to expand like crazy, and they will. That's because their overhead is really low. They establish the small huts and like parking lots, and then the drive-through is like on existing properties. So they lease from the property that's already available. It's not like they exclusively own the properties. They don't need to. Their overhead is their business model is probably pretty attractive. And I actually should look at it since you guys are continually on this Dutch brother thing. But I'm telling you, man, the Annihilator is the greatest coffee I've ever had in my life, man. My life. It's just phenomenal. Pet V, it's crushing. If that is the company, Lucian, that I think you're talking about, is it Pet Vivo? Take a stab at this. It's amazing how many tickers I have committed to memory. I think it's Pet Vivo, right? I covered the company once about osteoarthritis in animals, and it's been kicking ass ever since. And I don't own the company. I thought they were really good when I looked at them. I would have invested in it had I just had money coming out my backside. I didn't, and still to this day don't. I'm very careful with positions that I take, but I do follow it from a watch list perspective. But as far as news that is catalyst worthy and reportable, I don't have any. But I think it's a phenomenal company, and the CEO is legit. It's legit. That interview is actually on the channel, so you guys can go back and actually check that. That's a really awesome company, and it's done really, really well since I've covered the company. So These must have been 690, but still no shit. I know, and you can't. It's tough, man. I don't even want to sell my position, man. I feel like I'm sitting on a gold mine. I'm like, they'll screw with me. They won't allow me to enter back into it anymore. You know, I'm very encouraged by Bro's growth, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm giving some hometown knowledge, man. I'm telling you, it's likely to be more volatile. That's for sure. You know, whether or not they can make a systemic run at this thing and make this thing work. I'm telling you, there's a line. When I went back home 2 years ago, the first thing I did was go grab a Dutch Brothers coffee. I'm telling you, all right, it's really really cool. Bros. I mean, he's probably talking about something else anyway. So um, anyway, all depends on your objectives. Very cool stuff. Getting to the end here. Want to make sure and highlight some of these VIPs in the community. Very cool. Hope all's well. We did just fine during the hurricane. Fantastic to hear, Becky. Thank you for that. And I'm glad to hear that. We are middle of state, so only wind and the rain. We are still loving retirement. Have a great weekend. Fantastic. Put my heart at ease a little bit, Becky. Thank you for coming on and thank you for sharing that with me, man. That's very cool. Where do you hold cash in M1? I don't. I don't hold cash in M1 Finance. I reinvest all that idle cash. If you go up and click that toggle up on the right, it reinvests all the cash. So all dividends that go in there just reinvest back into the portfolio. M1 Finance is one of those things I really don't screw with too much, and I make just a ton of money. It's like a little money generating machine. If M1 Finance was a little machine like a casino or like a cashier's machine, or if I morphed them two together and I like put them together like Play-Doh and made a machine, M1 Finance would be that machine. It would say M1 on it, and every morning I would walk by it. It would give me a shiny new $2.46 bill, and I would put it into my wallet and I would leave. That's M1 Finance. I don't do anything to it. I don't maintain it. I don't even plug this dynamic machine into the wall. It just continually churns and it continually pays money. I don't do anything. I passively fund it. Like I fund the accounts with about 75 bucks. I'm doing it like every week now. It's pretty cool, actually. I've got it on a pretty aggressive infusion schedule, but that's the cool part about M1 Finance is that it is the most passive broker you can invest in. So why do I suggest that to be a cool thing? Well, because it keeps you away from your most hated enemy, and that's yourself. M1 Finance allows you the discipline to invest passively the way I've disclosed to you. I invest passively. You can do it any way you want, but I have not touched those accounts. I haven't touched them. They're very cool. I morphed the bond account to an aggressive growth. Now I just fund them and I'm up in every one of the holdings. I've made up my bond losses. It's awesome. I'm up 11,000 bucks in that small portfolio. It's got 37,000 in it. The aggressive growth with a $5,000 bill and the sector portfolio with about $27,000 bill in there. And it just does nothing but make money. All the sectors are up. They're all kicking ass and they all make money. It's great. I invest zero time into it and it churns back money. As opposed to me leaving and going to work, having to spend time to earn money. M1 Finance doesn't even expect me to talk dirty to it ever. And it pays me money. No, passive investing. Passive investing and a dividend strategy and a passive strategy is the key there. Very cool. Appreciate the comment. Now my cash is maintained elsewhere. I don't keep cash in M1 Finance. It was a cool question. Hopefully I answered it good. Watching your channels a couple years now. I know you have, man. I'm glad to have you, brother. I really am. Gave me the confidence to jump from the fence and step into the investing world. I believe your message has helped many along the way. I hope so. You know, I think if a group or a consensus was shared with me that I'm off, I share too much, it's misleading, it hurts people, it would break my heart because I really do. Aside from the jokes, money is a serious topic. But I can't come off like that. Suit and tie. I don't believe that's necessary. I still believe that we can be serious about this topic and joke a little bit. Joke a little bit about what people think you need to know about money. Joke a little bit about the narrative that comes through not only social media, but the mainstream media about what you should do with your money and how you should feel stupid as a retail investor and how you're not even eligible to do certain things that the big yuppity smoking the cigars can do. All that, all that. You got potential, man. Each and every one of you has potential to gain a life. Now, whether or not you're going to make millions, but maybe you'll make a few $100,000 that you wouldn't have made had it not been for that opportunity to look in the mirror and say, dang, you know, I watched this guy, I felt motivated by doing it. Can I do it? Oh, it's the scariest damn thing I've ever done. For a lot of people out there, I acknowledge that this is a very scary proposition. It's scary. Losing $500 just scares the shit out of them. I watched the stock market today adjust from 1400 in the morning all the way down to 400. It's $1,000 just in the morning. And I was like, right on, man. Drove to the supermarket. It was up around six or 700. Watched it go all the way down to 460. I lost $200 in the time that I drove from here to the supermarket. The market closed up 800 today, right? Do I fret about it? I'm trying to teach everybody and share a tolerance to the market that a lot of people, if not the vast majority, if not all people, don't have that kind of tolerance when they start investing in the stock market. They just don't have it. So I share that stuff. You know, is it normal that we invest in the stock market and actually see our portfolio go down? I don't know, Jerry. I mean, is that true? Right? Have you looked at it and you're like, God dang, this kind of sucks. What the hell, man? I just wish it would go up every day. Let me tell you what, I do too. I do too. And when you bring thousands and thousands of people into a message, you have to give them the goods right up front. You can lose money. This isn't all sexy. I don't have all the answers. GoPro is not a good investment, right? I have to throw that stuff out there. You can lose money, all right? But if we can keep our eyes on these few attributes out there that really can be adhered to and make sure that the masses can enjoy success at the greatest potential rate, then we're making it happen, brother. I really enjoy your comment, man. Thank you for sharing with me. Very cool stuff. McDonald's, phenomenal for everyone who owns it long term. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm there every other day for my son. It's nice to know that I'm supporting my own stock position in McDonald's. It is a phenomenal one. So this is good stuff, man. Sell out of the covered calls in low PE stocks, road oil and refineries up to 86. WTI today. Absolutely. Good show, my friend. Very cool stuff. You guys keep leaving these comments in here, man. I'm going to keep going until I get through all of them. Very cool. If I had been Ryan Calhoun back when Scott traded the share bill, that was my first broker was Scott Trade. Iverson says they're gambling when investing in this dog. Always spends at least $10 on Starbucks coffee every day. That transcends the Hindu cows, and he's a friend of yours. I don't mean to offend, but Hindu cow. That is the followership that we are looking to fight tooth and nail, right? This idea that you can't participate in financial markets. We just talked about Starbucks as a viable investment, right? you know, your cell phone for crying out loud. I mean, this old dandy girl, right? I mean, there's Matt. Matt texted me. He's like, get off, man. I got to talk to you, man. Get off there. I got to show you something. But Apple computers, you ever heard of them? They make this funny device. All right. I can remember back when I used to carry a cell phone called RAM Cell. Anybody heard of that? Everybody's like, hell no, man. You know, now this thing is like a mini computer. I'm all about it. Sure, I'll invest in Apple. It's all good. Why not be a participant? Apple could go to zero because it's gambling, right? The difference between owning a share in Apple, and I own significantly more than a share in Apple. If I were to just take the exact position in Apple, which I've owned for years, and I go to Vegas with that exact same amount, and I play one hand of blackjack. The suggestion there is that that is the same as owning the Apple stock that I've owned for years. What if I was really, really careful and I split my bet? What if I bet $1 per hand? Do you think that would have lasted as long as my shares in Apple have lasted? I'm trying to draw some comparison for you, your friend specifically, so you can potentially share with them my analogy, which draws a distinct difference between the two. And I would go so far as to suggest that they don't even belong in the same universe, let alone the same conversation. I don't gamble anymore because I have so much success in investing. Gambling has become a futile activity to me. There's no enjoyment to me. I'd rather go to the Venetian and stay and go VIP to the club. I'd rather go to the variety show. I'd rather go see the Blue Man Group. I'd rather go walk the strip. hmm I'd rather go hang out with my wife. Sitting there playing cards with the expectation of winning a few $1,000 means nothing to me. I won $800 today in the stock market. I didn't do shit for it. Similarity? Yeah. This is the mentality that we're combating, my friend. I appreciate you sharing. I really do. A lot of fun, man. Very cool. Yes, Lucian's ERX is too high. I agree. I tweeted this week and asked if there were any further incentives. I mean, if the administration is serious about transitioning to electrified, the price is too high for some pretty legitimate reasons. You do understand the supply chain piece to it. And I think if we could boost the incentives up to about 120, 140,000, what's the difference? I mean, the government gives incentives to Tesla. Why not give them to electrified Class 8 trucks? If they're serious about bridging the gap for the fleets that are willing to take these on, but they're not willing to incur such a huge upfront cost, which is double what a diesel is, to your point. Right? I'm totally in agreement with you. And I haven't heard back from that. I hope some further incentives come down the pike to make the transition a little bit better. Now the price is too high on the onset, but the TCO actually does, and the ROI over the time frame of owning, the total cost of ownership and the return on investments are actually quite lucrative after a 3 year. That payback is there with the low cost of, in this case, compressed natural gas or renewable natural gas. So you're getting both the payback and the environmental benefit, right? So you can still pay the 200,000 for a diesel truck, the 400,000 for the ERX. All the while, the 200,000 is going to cost you more the longer you run the asset. Whereas with the ERX, it flips the equation and it becomes less expensive the longer you run the unit. Does that make sense? Right? Yeah, we'll just have to see how that plays out over time. All right. I think to your point, there has to be a TCO, an articulatable TCO, and it can't just be all about burning a cleaner fuel or a zero tailpipe emissions type of profile. It has to actually hit the bottom line in a positive way. And unless that can prove out, then the project will be for naught, I think. Hey guys, this is the guy that used to talk about the truck, Helion, or is it called Helion? Is the EV company? So why don't you come on, Garrett? Come on, and you can school me up on what you think I know, or what I used to talk about, or what I talked about tonight, or what you think I should talk about, or what I should do with my life, and what I should do with my money, and what I should do with life in general, and how I'm screwing it all up. Why don't you come on and school me up, brother? The invite is at the very, very top of this live stream. You can come get saucy with me and learn me up on all the ways of life, man. That enough for you? Put that in the pipe and smoke it. Yes, this is the guy. This is the guy that doesn't come on and teach you about baking. No, this is not a baking channel. This is not a weightlifting channel. It's not a personal motivation channel. All right. It's not how to get laid channel either. It's how to invest in the stock market. Okay. And investing in the stock market, does require some risk to be put on the table. And this isn't the first, this won't be the last loss that we ever take on the books. I'm still holding my position. Right now, it's down. Will it be up next year? Hell, I don't know. I'll report to you next year and let you know. Okay. But I will be there for that look. Trust me. All right. Going on about an hour and a half, man. I'm going to try to get through all of these comments. Very cool. We start to generate. This is like a big Detroit diesel engine. Once this live stream gets going, it's kind of hard to turn off, man. I hate to kill the momentum, man. Very cool stuff. Long-term Hammock is Amazon. Just an interesting question. Yeah, no, it totally is. I'm glad you offered it. That was fun. It was fun to talk. Very cool. I heard everyone stopped ordering from Amazon and all the websites stopped working. I just, man, I sure as hell, man, I'd be sad, dude. You know how much I order off of Amazon? It's so freaking amazing. I like when I order it and it's like at my doorstep the very next day. It's unbelievable, man. I dig it. Amazon's awesome, both on the business side and on the personal side. I love it. I love it. Good call, Matt. That's a good take home, man. I dig it. Ah, he's back. And he says, thank you. Thank you for your thoughts on Highland. Don't worry, I wouldn't blame you. Yeah, that's good. That's a start. I tell people they shouldn't blame me, and they do all the time. Trust me, man. You would be amazed at all the heat I take, man. Don't worry if I've been a laugh out founders. Time with us looking into Highland a few years. Wow, time's flying. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Garrett. Appreciate the clarity. Very cool. If you still want to come on and teach me up on how I should be a better man, that'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it. I'm always looking for a little bit of counsel. Make the teacher the student this evening, just like Mr. Miyagi. But cool stuff. Almost to the end, almost to the end, almost to the end, man. We almost got it, man. We almost got it. Holy crap. Dude, music's in the house, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good to see you, man. Glad to rejoin after missing the last couple. One spot on comments about M1. Total opposite of the spectrum. Something like Robin Hood socks. I can't wait to get rid of them, man. Potential barn burner, Ionic. I will look at it. Thank you. Ionic, got it. Very cool. Appreciate you, man, and thanks for actually sharing it with the group. This is the last comment. I got K Trash. This ought to be good. It's a nice long one. So it's like War and Peace. I get to read K Trash's the last comment of the night, and we're going to sign off and get on with our Labor Day weekend, man. Very cool. You turn it off whenever you want, Ryan. We appreciate everybody you give to us. You give us so much content for free. I get paid for it. It's all good. I don't need money to be paid for it, right? It's all the kind you heard all the comments and reports back and people making money and doing that thing, man. I think that's killer, man. It's really killer. Enjoy the 3-day weekend, my friend. Appreciate you as always. Well, I am working tomorrow, but I didn't throw in the towel tonight, man. I try not to miss the live stream. I just enjoy it so much. It's a lot of fun. We went an hour and 32 minutes tonight, and it goes really, really fast. I really enjoy it. Really get to convey the message. And Kay, I really appreciate that. That's very cool. All right, now it's the last comment. Appreciate your covers on it, but are you familiar with the origin materials? They make many plastic precursors from waste wood instead of petroleum. Interesting. I have heard that. Yes, I have, and I'm very familiar with it. Um, I would stand by for rolls on this. Yeah, I would stand by for rolls. I can't say anything on the live stream, all right? But just trust me on this, man. Give me a couple of weeks, if not 1 week, on this whole project, man. I'll report out on it, and you'll have to stay tuned. You'll have to be subscribed to the channel, man, to give us an give you a rundown when I can actually talk about it. It'll be a lot of fun, man. In 2 years, prediction, um, above 25. In 2 years, above 25. Be above $25. It could be 50, depending on how quickly things accelerate. It'll be a completely different company after a couple of years. My prediction is that they're a little bit more in a sign of strength. If it's in 12 and a half and I'm completely wrong, I'm happy. $6, I'm back break even. That's my average price now, as I've been averaging down pretty heavy. I've stopped buying now. I've bought everything I needed to. The last buy was at $161.16. So I'm good. I know I misunderstood you, brother. That was my bad. It was all good. But um, yeah, 25, $26 to 50, something like that would be awesome. I think within 5 to 10, we're looking at 100 plus. That's what I think. And I'd love to see a world with it. That's for sure. I think it'd be awesome. With that, guys, we'll wrap it down, guys. I'll give in a little extra bonus time. I'm gonna take it easy, get a little R&R. Do have to work tomorrow. I will be back next Friday on the live stream. I appreciate all the comments tonight. Very cool. Garrett, you're the man. I'll put you on here for the last one, man. Very cool stuff. Sometimes I got to read them quickly, and I'm doing and I sometimes I misconstrue the intent, and I apologize for that. That's very cool, man. I got a lot of haters on that topic, so I'm a little sensitive on it. And I had just about as close to I've ever had on actually having one of my most aggressive haters actually come on the live stream a couple of weeks ago, and they failed to do so because they just didn't want to do that. And I feel like that's conveniently easy for a lot of people to just throw venom, and not come and back up their words actually to me, which I would be okay with, you know. But anyway, I appreciate your time, brother. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody visiting the live stream tonight. You guys be well. Happy Labor Day weekend. Be safe. Don't do anything crazy that I wouldn't do, which is not a whole lot of nothing. If you enjoy the message, subscribe to the channel, man. We do this product every single Friday. I would invite you back next week when we throw down on another edition of the Independent Investor Channel live stream. Be well, be safe. We'll catch you next week. Thanks, guys.